Welcome back to my channel. This is so much fun. This is getting so exciting. And if you're new, welcome, join the gang, subscribe, like, comment, and share all in one. Yeah, do it all. And if you are a returning subscriber, you are welcome back. So today I want to share something a little more personal. So this is a testimony of mine, so to say, but look, it's a story time, right? I'm telling you basically about my first real encounter with God. How weird is that? And how deep is that, right? So I just want to, I hope I can bring it to life. I hope I can bring it to life of, you guys feel the emotions with me. Like, yeah, like I want it all. You understand? So I graduated my undergraduate school in 2021, right? That's when I finished my bachelor's in international business administration at USIU. And I decided to pursue my master's still in business administration, still at USIU, right? But the next year. So I didn't really get a break. So I finished September and I joined September, right? So I had a plan that I would take exactly 1 year to finish school, right? So I needed to wrap up this 2-year program in 1 year, and it would have worked, or it did work, because they exempted me several classes, right? So initially, this is what happened. So I joined, the excitement is real. Everything is just, you're just glad to be back in uni because you're thinking, what, all of a sudden we're adults, So I was excited to be back in university, and then it started to hit me. All my friends, most of my friends had gone, and then others were just in different career paths. Some had just finished uni as well. Some were in their last semesters. Some were now working. Like, we sort of lost that coordination. That was the first, should I say, culture shock, or like shock that I got, that everybody moved on, right? So it was all this big, huge mess that I was trying to figure out. And then my classes started going down. And now with USIU, when you join the master's program, you have to have a GPA of 3 to 4, right? So once you have anything below 4, anything below 3, they ask you to, so they send you a warning email. And when it happens 2 times, they cut you off. So I started all good, but it was so tiring and exhausting. And mid the course, I realized this is not what I really wanted to do. I wanted to do something else, not because I didn't like business itself, but because I wanted to take a different career path. Like, I wanted to do something else. I wanted to get into communication so I could do media and that kind of stuff, you see. So it was just a lot to internalize at the moment. So I started failing my classes, right? And like I told you guys, I had already worked through half the term. I was left with just 2 terms. And here I receive an email warning me. It's like, your GPA is below a 3. I had a 2.9 something. So I wasn't too worried, because I was like, next time I'll just raise the GPA. And then the next time I really had a shitty term, so it dropped even more. I had a 2.7. So I had 1 term left. So I received this email from the Dean School of Business telling me, you know what, wrap up everything. It's your time to go home. And you guys can imagine how stressful that is, because it was right around that time when I was trying to figure it out. It was right around that time that everything was just looking a mess, right? And I remember just listening to this YouTube preaching that was talking about how you knock on the door and God opens for you. Like, that's a promise that you're entitled to. I said, okay, I like what you're saying, because I was thinking, how am I going to go and explain to my parents that, listen, not only have I not finished this master's that you have struggled to pay me, struggled to pay for, but I've even been sent out of school. Like, I have no school to go to, and this was my last semester. They had paid for a whole year. It was just crazy. And I was doing 5 courses. Now, with masters, usually they allow you to take 3 courses to 4 courses at most. I was taking 5 just so I could get this thing done. That's how tired I was of this thing, It was just beginning to feel like a burden. It was no longer something I enjoyed. So fast forward to the time that I actually started to discover, you know what? These people make a valid point. We've always been Christian our whole entire lives, but what does it truly mean to be Christian? And what am I entitled to as a Christian, right? So I started to dig deep a little bit into that. So I figure out, of course, through sermons and different things that, you know what, people have prayed for things like cancer, diabetes, like all these big things, and they've worked out. Like, trust me, my grades are not what is going to fail this God that takes away HIV, takes away all these big things. There's surely something that he can do for me, right? So I decide to go on a 21-day fast. I won't lie, in the 21 days, I probably ate in the 20 days. I probably fasted like 1 day. But I remember really praying and being like, yo, God, my parents have told me about you. Everybody talks about you. This time, I really need you to show up. Like, I really need you to stand and really, really show up. So I remember praying for it. And I went to the church that I was going to at the time and talked to the pastor about it. And he was like, don't worry, just reappeal to be reinstated into the school. And after that, you work really hard and you'll be good. I was like, okay. So I came, talked to the dean. Luckily, the dean had taught me my undergraduate school and had taught me one class of my graduate school. So he was like, oh, Liz, it's you. What's wrong? I was like, oh, so I'm struggling with this ABCD. He was like, oh, you don't worry. You're back into school, but I'll need you to, you will literally have only this term to figure out how you can get your GPA to 3. And if you get to a 3, you get to graduate. That's one. And the second thing, you get to finish uni, you know. And that was like music to my ears. I was like, there will be nothing else. It's like, all we need is for you to have a 3. I had a 2.7. So I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be nearly impossible. Mind you, the reason why I had gone to a 2.7 is because one of my lecturers had failed me in my, what are they called? My concentration classes. Not really failed me, given me an F, he gave me a C. And in masters, if you get a C, like your GPA drops like a bomb like that minute, right? So what happened was he tells me, just go register for your classes. So I go to register for my classes and I find out this guy that failed me is offering me 2 classes that semester and I had only 3 classes. So 2 classes and project. So I was like, man, there goes my 3, I'm done and this is not going to work, right? Anyway, I just try to be positive about it. I go to class and all through the time, I'm just here praying and being like, yo, God, I really need to see you come through for me. Because if you don't do anything about this, this is going to be bad. And it's not going to be bad for only me. Like, I'm going to denounce you. Like, that's how bad I felt. So fast forward to when school ended, we had this short break. I tried to figure out, my project was also giving me a hard time. It was just such a hard thing to go through. My master's it gave me, I worked really hard for that degree. Like, I really worked overtime for that degree. So anyway, fast forward, they sent the results. And you know what's crazy? I got exactly a 3. Like, no 0.1, no 0.2, no point nothing, right? It was exactly a 3. And I remember being so mind blown that what? Like, that is so crazy. Like, of all things, why is it exactly a 3? And I feel like God speaks in those subtle things. God speaks in these tiny little things that we tend to, not listen to and just put to the side. It's in that time that I feel like he really shows how accurate that he is. And I feel like that was such a life-changing moment itself. Of course, things didn't stop there. Now, I needed to have a license from Rwanda for my project as well. So that took eternity. Guess what? When I get this license, I got it on Wednesday. Graduation was on Saturday. And they had closed the portals they were going to close the portals for graduation Thursday. So I call up my friend Simi. I'm like, yo, I need you to run this thing for me in school. I'm also coming. We're going to make this work. I truly thought, it was done. I wasn't going to graduate. Like, I was going to finish, but then graduate like another year. So anyway, fast forward, Simi helps me run around. I come, I help her, we all run around, we try to get everything done. Just know we finished everything at exactly 9 p.m. Every office that we needed to enter, someone was in. And usually offices in USA close at exactly 5. Everybody's out of office. But don't ask me how by 9 these people were still in school. The dean had some lecture somewhere, so I followed him to his class. Like, that's how bad it was. And I feel like it was in that moment that God showed me that it's really not by ourselves. It's never by how strong we are or how perfect we are or how we know how to pray or how fast, how much we can fast. It's truly what relationship do you have with God? And it's truly how do you feel about God, right? Do you actually feel like he can help you with this thing? And and I feel like that season just boosted my faith to like something else. I just realized, oh, this is not a fantasy they've been telling me about. This is not some theory someone has been giving me. It's actually something that's real, that is happening. And I've been missing out this whole time. I've not been really tapping into what this is, and then I realized there's just a bigger power that's out there, aka God, of course. And I don't want to say exploit it because that's like a bad word, but use it to your advantage. It shouldn't be about anything else that you've done right or wrong. It should be solely be about your relationship with God. So without going into a lot of stories and everything, I felt like it was on my heart to share that, and I hope it helps someone. Bye.